Hey there, and thanks for joining me for another episode of Bible Brilliance. Today we're talking about the Decree of Cyrus. If you've been a Christian for any amount of time, you're probably aware of the famous verse, Jeremiah 29:11, which reads, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." It's a favorite verse to share with people entering a new, possibly scary season of their life, especially when high school graduates are going off to college. It really is a nice sentiment to hear when you're leaving home for the first time, and I don't mind it being applied in this way because God does have a plan for each one of us. However, when God spoke these words, He wasn't talking to a bunch of high school graduates going off to college. Instead, He was comforting the rebellious people of Israel right before they were carted off to Babylon as exiles. And the preceding verse tells us that the exiles would be in Babylon for 70 years. It reads, "For thus says the Lord, when 70 years are completed for Babylon, I will visit you, and I will fulfill to you my promise and bring you back to this place." Now, where things get brilliant is in the details surrounding how God would bring His people back home. In Isaiah 44:28, God is talking about someone named Cyrus, saying, "Cyrus, he is my shepherd, and he shall fulfill all my purpose. Saying of Jerusalem, she shall be built, and of the temple, your foundation shall be laid." And when you go on to read chapter 45, it becomes undoubtedly clear that some guy named Cyrus would be the one to get the exiles back home. The amazing part is that Cyrus wouldn't be born for another 100 years. You see, this is a special kind of prophecy where God actually calls someone by name. And verse 45:3 of Isaiah says, almost as if he's speaking directly to Cyrus, "It is I, the Lord, the God of Israel, who calls you by your name." Lo and behold, Cyrus was born around 600 BC. He rose up to become the king of Persia, and when he and his army conquered the Babylonians in 539 BC, it wasn't long before Cyrus decreed that the Jewish exiles could return home to rebuild Jerusalem. In fact, the Jewish historian Josephus states that this prophecy was known to Cyrus, and that when he read it, he, quote, admired the divine power, and an earnest desire and an ambition seized upon him to fulfill what was so written. Of course, whether Cyrus wanted to cooperate or not, God always fulfills His promises. So trust in Him and see the plans He has for you. And as always, thanks for watching and stay brilliant.